I loved when Triple H came out at WrestleMania 30, and it was kind of like Shao Kahn, and it was really cool, and the throne kind of symbolized his reign. And man, I want to play ball. Guys, hello.
Hey there, how are you?
Give AJ the first question
AJ,
there.
what's up, baby? Oh, we go high?
I'll take it.
We go
You
low?
get first question, man?
Boom, nail. Fire away.
Go first.
Got to look at his notes.
Professional, got them all down.
Who do you want AEW to sign next out of everyone in the world?
Well, I guess the guy I wanted to sign the most would have been Jon Moxley, and all of you probably have already received it, but we did sign Jon Moxley to a multi-year deal, a really wonderful deal for AEW, and our presentation as the alternative. So that's the news tomorrow, and that was the guy I wanted, because what a story, you know. On one end, you have this veteran guy like Dean Malenko, who left WWE after over 10 years to come play ball with us, and then you have Moxley, who was right in the thick of it. I mean, the Shield was the hottest thing. I got to be in there with those guys with my brother and my dad. He took the last bionic elbow. So I just got this connection with him, and he has a connection with the fans. And I don't know if you guys saw, but when he was in the ring, he's literally like unhinging, and just coming out of whatever shell had been put over him. So I was just really happy, and I'm not happy he went after Kenny, but I was really happy. So Moxley, which we did.
Cody, I want to ask you about obviously the match with Dustin
Kenny,
tonight.
hey buddy.
How you doing? The match with Dustin tonight, I felt this weird sense during the match, because it's no secret WWE didn't give you guys the WrestleMania match that you guys wanted to have, and I would argue it was the most emotional match of the night. People were kind of in tears about it. It was very real. And the idea that that match wasn't deemed worthy for a pay-per-view is insane. Is there a weird sense of satisfaction now coming out of it that it went as well as you thought it would in your head?
So, back when the situation came up where we might have wrestled at WrestleMania, we've talked about this before, I didn't want to do it because I wanted to do the ladder match that Mania, and I wanted to move away from Dustin because we have a very unique relationship, and in such a strange way, it's cathartic what happens. It is real between him and I. It's a different upbringing, a different lifestyle, and the prodigal son story is dead on for who we are. But he's my brother. So I was so happy that he got to be out here, because these fans are so different. And he got to be there, and I wasn't. No, but by no means is he going to retire. He's not done, and you go from saying I never want to be in the ring with my brother ever again to I got to be in there with him one more time, and just a really crazy experience out there. Honestly, I feel like I'm still in the ring, if that makes any sense, and that's why I haven't showered. And that's an old Dusty thing. Dave probably knows. When you hit a home run, or if you feel like you did, you don't want to go home. You just want to stay out there. But we have time limits and stuff. So yeah. So I was real happy.
Going through your head when Dustin brought out that Dusty's favorite shirt.
Oh.
Go too far.
No. I mean, it's funny because I was clearly his favorite. It's well documented. No, he's a performer always, first and foremost, and it was something he didn't tell me about, and it's okay, that's the type of risk you take, and it sounds cheesy or whatever, but wrestling is it is art, and when it's done right, man, a performer to be able to perform on a level like that and do little things like that, you can't take that away from them. Sometimes it's a miss. That wasn't a miss. They chanted it tonight.
I think
Cody, the sledgehammer, the chair, a lot of people buzzing about that. Can you walk us through your thought process, the idea behind that, why it was important to do that?
Okay, so I had a literal dream about this type of entrance. And I loved when Triple H came out at WrestleMania 30, and it was kind of like Shao Kahn, and it was really cool, and the throne kind of symbolized his reign. And man, I want to play ball. I'm not, I know we don't say competition, but it stands for itself, And I also want people to know this role, this executive vice president role, which I love and I'm excited about. I want to be a wrestler first, and that's great. We were able to do that tonight. Tony Khan sat in Gorilla and timed the show. That takes years. How to learn. I mean, Gerald Briscoe, he was like the only guy who could do it for a long time. Tony did it tonight on his first try. So they don't always need us there in those executive roles. We were able to go out there and be wrestlers, and that more than anything. Not so much a shot at Triple H, more a shot at I'm not ready to dive into that role and lean into it. I want to be a wrestler first and foremost. I'm not done. I know that people think Kenny's the best, and I know that people think Chris is the best, and now Jon Moxley's the best. I'm always going to be wondering, oh, well, what can I do? What's the step, you know?
Was there any sort of a sense of satisfaction at certain points tonight, in the sense of, I mean, you've been getting the reaction for a while, but this was still a step up to me, even from All In a lot of ways. I felt this was more historic than All In some ways. You know, just first show, and just, I mean, you know, All In was a real emotional match too in a different way. But still, you know, this was more, I don't know, the whole chanting for your dad and everything like that, and people crying at the end. You know, it was a pretty amazing scene.
So when it's done right, you know, so you make people mad, you make people happy, and if you can make people cry, I mean, I was crying too, and Dustin was crying. It had to be a step up from All In, though. It had to be. Everything has to be a step up. That's why I said to these guys, hey, will you follow us? I mean it. We put our names on this. I mean, I literally burned the bridge tonight. I can't go back, and then I'm fine with that. I want us to play, and I thought the whole show needed to be a step up from All In, and I'll be like, to be more specific, Matt and Nick got screwed at All In. They weren't able to have the match they wanted to have. Tonight they were able to show the world their idea of tag team wrestling, and it's fire. And Phoenix and Pentagon, it's absolute fire. And Kenny and Chris is just such a legend. And you know, I got to design that entrance, and I don't know if it came off as, I thought it was pretty cool. But it had to be better than All In, and I'll tell you the truth, it has to. Next time, whether it's Fight for the Fallen or All Out, they have to be better than this, and that's a tough task.
Cody, we saw a lot of.
I have a real question.
Oh yeah.
Who approved you to do media? Because I talked to the chief brand officer and she said you weren't on the media.
I thought I was on the list. I know Mark. I know Mark's got something.
No one's complaining, I'm sure.
No one's going to argue with this guy.
There we go.
We got a couple minutes with Cody.
Cody, what's going on, man? There was a lot of symbolism in the show today, and do you feel like that you need to symbolize, or just go out there and perform at the highest level that this company can perform at?
I think it was important that we provided a variety. You know, Eric Bischoff, that was something big, and it stuck with me. It was like the buffet. This has got to be a wrestling buffet, and that tag team match has to be tag team wrestling at its finest. Kenny and Chris has to be bell to bell, work great, all that at its finest. And then what I do, I like to lean into the emotional character side of this. That's probably my wheelhouse. So I wanted all the symbolism. I think it was done right, and if, you know, I think I know it was done right because the people were so receptive to it, and that's just the best feeling in the world, you know. Now, had they booted out of the building, we could have worked with that too, but they were receptive to it, so I like the symbolism. I'll stick with the symbolism, and I think you're going to see a lot of great things out of everybody who's on this roster. There's a lot of people. Everyone who's on this roster, but particularly out of the guys, the 4 EVPs, we have a lot of pressure. You know, how will they handle this role? And
Brandy talked about diversity in this company, and I saw a lot of diversity in this show. Is that something that's intentional, or is it just that you're opening the doors for people of different genders, people of different colors, people of different races, ethnicities? How did you go about making that decision to have it be more diverse?
Well, I mean, I'm in an interracial marriage, and I've learned a lot that I would have never known. One time I told Brandy, I said, I don't have a racist bone. I said, I don't see color. And she said, well, then you don't see my experience. And I thought, oh, you're right. I can't just say that. You need to be able to see that experience and at least understand it. And the old territory system of just one, and a lot of folks may remember that, that's out. That's out. The best wrestlers are gonna field the game, and that's a very diverse profile, and I'm really proud of it. But I know we're not gonna make that. We're gonna promote them as wrestlers. You know, That's all the elements of diversity. We're not going to make it a PR element for us, and that I'm really proud of because it's about the wrestling.
After a big moment like this, you see people in Super Bowls and NBA championships say they're going to Disneyland. What are you going to do?
So this is funny. Literally, and Joey Ryan knows this because I put him on the reservation. We're going to Disneyland to do Galaxy's Edge.
Get out of here!
So literally, I put Joey on the. He doesn't know. Now he does. Yeah, we got to go see. I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so I have to see Galaxy's Edge. I'm gonna wait a while, but I'm excited.
Cody, we saw a lot of middle fingers tonight. Obviously, hey, how are you? Good to see you again. Saw a lot of middle fingers tonight. Obviously, maybe a lot of blood, obviously too. Is this a sign of maybe what we'll see to come when you guys are on TV too?
I think I don't. There's not the standards and practices format we really have at the moment, but I think when you look at TV. And our pay-per-views will take it a step up, if that makes any sense. Wrestling, and Tony's been really good about this. It's sports-centric, and the other wrestling company, they almost run a TVG show with how protected it is. And I get that. It's servicing the child audience, but there's a huge part of the audience that still wants sports, still wants violence. In the NBA, guys curse on the court. You move the camera off them. It's not. It's treated as a live sporting event, and that will help our TV and drive how we want to do TV. But I think at the pay-per-views, you'll see a step up. And even Tony, and I'm not trying to spoil it, but we've even talked about a pay-per-view itself that's another step up. So wrestling is violent. It's part of this combat sports, and we got a lot of great guys with legit backgrounds. So I don't mind using that word because everyone here tonight is happy, healthy, brother's okay.
You guys announced All Out. You guys announced All Out, obviously, in Chicago. It's the anniversary of All In. Is that going to be your yearly anniversary large show moving forward?
So I think probably look at Double or Nothing and All Out as tentpole events. And there may be another one. We're not going to do a pay-per-view every month. I realized it was $50, and to ask people to part with their money, got to make sure it's worth it. So we're going to be, not every show is going to be 4 to 5 hours either. TV, I've kind of indicated with you, it's a 2-hour TV broadcast. But All In was where it all started. I mean, we have a literal plaque on the side of the building. There's a plaque. I can never get over that. So to be able to go back to that building, these people who I called personally, and then I had to get Gary Juster to call them because they didn't believe it when I said, hey, I would like to run your building and we'll do a good. Now they're excited to have us back. And again, Dave's point, we got to keep going. We got to keep stepping up. And I want people to hold us accountable. I wanted to say that in the promo, but that's not the most exciting promo item. I want fans to keep us accountable. The moment something slips or the moment something misses, let us know. Because that's something that's missing. When you're the only game in town, you don't care. We care. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Can you go fast? Sorry. Oh, sorry.
I gotta go. You guys want to do a group hug?
Sure.